of Ghana maintains policy rate at 26% to reduce inflationary pressures.
World Bank injects $500 million into activities of WAP.
And Colombian authorities make the biggest seizure of drugs in history.
Hello, this is News Hour on GBC 24. Good evening. My name is Shirley Annan.
Good evening. This is News Hour, GBC 24 and GTV. My name is Yoko Kwakutre, and you're welcome. The World Bank is injecting $500 million into agriculture in West Africa under an initiative to achieve food security in the region. The program aims to upscale agricultural production in all 15 member ECOWAS countries with roots and tubers, livestock, rice, and, in some cases, drought-tolerant cereals expected to make the greatest contribution to agricultural growth. On Monday, a meeting opened in Accra at which member countries will share experiences and fashion out strategies to cut back on food shortages and unavailability in a region with one of the world's highest population growth rates.
So blessed with arable lands, food insecurity continues to be a major problem in West Africa. The West Africa Agriculture Productivity Program (WAP) was therefore designed to equip farmers in the sub-region with new technologies to boost productivity. Through the program, the World Bank has supported WAP member countries to increase their productivity. Under the program, Ghana has received $75 million, out of which the Crop Research Institute has released 34 technologies, including crop varieties. These technologies are being disseminated in Ghana and other WAP member countries. WAP is being implemented in two phases. While some member countries will be wrapping up Phase 1 in June, Ghana is among other countries that will be wrapping up the program in December 2017. Under Phase 1, member countries were to generate and disseminate improved agricultural technologies. The Accra Conference is therefore aimed at giving member countries the opportunity to take stock of the WAP activities and also consolidate gains made so far. The Deputy Minister for Agriculture, Dr. Ahmed Al-Hassan Yakubu, said WAP has been beneficial to member countries because through it, most countries have strengthened their agriculture base.
All the beneficiary countries are focusing on commodities of which they have comparative advantages. Whilst Ghana focuses on root and tuber crops improvements, Senegal prioritizes dry cereals and legumes, Mali works on rice, Nigeria focuses on aquaculture, Burkina Faso on vegetables, and Cote d'Ivoire on plantain. Such efforts led to the breeding of root and tuber crops for high yield and quality and other useful biological units in Ghana.
The lead rural development specialist at the World Bank, Mr. Abdullahi Turi, said WAP is part of the World Bank's program of making food available to all in the sub-region.
It's a project that has been prepared by ECOWAS, and it's all about innovation and food systems. This also project is bridging the gap between research and the end users, so that technologies that have been stocked for many years in the research stations can flow and go to the beneficiary farmers, processors, and all these things.
The West Africa Agriculture Productivity Program is being implemented in Ghana, Mali, Senegal, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Benin, Gambia, Guinea, Liberia, Niger, Sierra Leone, and Togo.
2 workers were seriously injured when a building on which they were working collapsed at Ashaiman, close to the Tema motorway toll booth. Monday's incident raises once more the issue of building regulations and
undergoing rapid architectural transformation and changes in its skyline to cope with modern chic living and avant-garde lifestyle. A report by Serofuri.
When the news team got to the scene, the laborers were salvaging what they could find from the rubble. They were tight-lipped about who the owners of the building were. However, the news team gathered off camera that the building, intended to be used as a supermarket, belongs to DB Constructions, the contractor for the Melcom chain of stores situated within the vicinity. What was evident was the shoddy work from inferior materials used in the construction work. We were told that the two who got injured, whose identities the workers would not disclose, had been rushed to the Tema General Hospital. At the time of leaving the scene, a bulldozer had been called in to break down the rest of the building. On a follow-up to the Ashaman Municipal Assembly to verify whether the builders had permits, both the MCE, Ibrahim Beidu, and site engineers were absent.
On Monday appeared before the Public Accounts Committee to answer questions on the Youth Employment Program. The Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations all made appearances before the committee, during which it was revealed that measures have been put in place to prevent future misuse of public funds. A committee was established to investigate media reports on the alleged corruption in some of the Youth Employment Agency models. The committee, led by the Office of the Attorney General, then presented a report to the Public Accounts Committee, after which the AG department was tasked to take the necessary steps to retrieve the monies which were illegally paid to contractors of the said models. The Ministries of Youth and Sports, the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, and the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations all appeared before the committee. The Parliamentary Accounts Committee, led by the chairman, Mr. Kweku Agyeman-Manu, questioned the three on their inability to prevent the embezzlement in the first place. The Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Alhaji Haruna Idrisu, said without the needed legislation, due diligence was lacking, and this led to the abuse of funds in the GIDA initiatives. He added that with the passage of the Youth Employment Agency Act 887, measures have been put in place to prevent future misuse of public funds. The Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Mrs. Marietta Brew Appiah-Upon, gave details of the report presented to the committee.
A sum of 300,000 Ghana cedis was given to CDP as an interest-free loan, and this was captured in the Auditor General's report. Now, from the documentation that has subsequently been supplied to us by YEA, an amount of 673,000 Ghana cedis was owed to CDP. Now, this interest-free loan has been offset against this amount. And so CDP no longer owes YEA.
The committee spent time debating on whether the service providers and the investigation should have been present to answer questions from the committee. While some believed the presence of the ministers were enough, others thought it would be best if the service providers were invited to speak to the issues themselves. The chairman had some concerns regarding the speedy adjudication of cases that involve the misappropriation of state funds.
It looks like the case is taking too long a time.
Due process has to be followed. I mean, there's no way we can rush this case. These are people's rights, and people could be imprisoned if they are found guilty. And therefore, even though it might seem to you that there is a delay, all we are doing is following due process and making sure that people get the hearing that they are entitled to.
If the law will allow you to outsource and you don't have staff, what you need next is money. So why don't you justify this to Parliament? Parliament, because we all want to fight corruption, these cases are sitting there idling. So why don't you find me extra resources to enable me hasty prosecutions on these?
Mr. Agyeman-Manu also suggested that the auditors should be given time to audit the report to guide the committee on which of the issues have been dealt with and those still pending. Sitting continues on Tuesday, and the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, alongside its agencies, will be expected to appear before the committee.
A man believed to be in his mid-40s died on the spot when a fuel tanker ran over him and two others at Bolgatanga in the Upper East region. The truck ran over the three on a motorbike in the Bolgatanga-Navrongo highway when the driver tried to overtake the motorbike. The other two victims, who are in a critical condition, have been conveyed to the Bolgatanga General Hospital for treatment. Abdulhai Mumin was at the scene and has come through with this report.
This is the Bolgatanga-Navrongo highway, a road that has accounted for the loss of many lives as a result of accidents. Here, a man lies lifeless, his life snapped away by a speeding fuel tanker. This man, a relation, cannot stand the shock.
Oh Lord, God take care of them. God take care of them.
This is the Bolgatanga-Navrongo highway, and this portion of the road in the Bolgatanga township itself is well noted for many accidents. This truck behind me just ran over 3 persons riding on 2 motorcycles and killing one of them instantly in the process. 2 others are critically injured and have been rushed to the Bolgatanga General Hospital for medical attention.
Eyewitnesses say the truck ran over 3 persons when the driver attempted to overtake them.
If you are not be careful, car will clear you down because you are not seeing the front. You don't see whether there is animals on the road or boat on the road. We don't know unless we have to minimize how we can do and ride our motor. And then you please the Bolga people, you should minimize how to ride their motors.
The police tell GBC 24 that the driver of the truck absconded after the accident.
We had information that there is an accident, so we rushed to the scene, but as I'm speaking now, we have sent the body to the mortuary.
Residents of Bolgatanga suggest that to end the numerous loss of lives on this stretch of the road, the authorities should consider constructing more speed ramps. Abdulhai Mumin, GBC 24, Bolgatanga.
The Ghana Police Service is to benefit from a $1 million project to counter drug trafficking and organized crime. Under the project funded by the U.S. government, technical assistance will be provided to enhance the capacity of the drug law enforcement units of the Criminal Investigations Department to deal with emerging trends of terrorism and the sophisticated operations of drug cartels in a region that has become a hub for drug trafficking and usage as cartels exploit the weak security and collaborate with locals to facilitate the trade in narcotics.
The continuing scourge of drug trafficking in West Africa and other organized criminal groups such as Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab has become a matter of concern to law enforcement agencies. It manifests itself in various forms including trafficking in persons and arms, piracy, kidnapping, money laundering and terrorism. Organized crime is growing with sophistication and complexity, posing a threat to security in the sub-region. It has become imperative for law enforcement agencies to continually train their personnel and adequately resource them. The U.S. government has extended a helping hand to the police to achieve this mission. The scope of the project involves training of personnel and the provision of logistics and equipment. Launching the project, the Minister of Interior, Mr. Prosper Bani, said the spate of terrorism attacks underscores the need for the security services to be alert at all times.
We must heed to the adage that if your neighbor's house is on fire, you need to prepare for the eventuality. For us, we only need to look at attacks on our immediate neighbors, Mali, Burkina Faso, and recently Cote d'Ivoire, to more than heed the glaring signals that we should be on maximum alert. We cannot afford complacency, nor can we bury our heads in the sand like ostriches.
The Director General of the Criminal Investigation Department, COP Prosper Agbo, noted that West Africa is a transit route for drugs such as cocaine and heroin and is fast becoming a consuming community. He added that the project will improve the capabilities of about 200 investigators of the CID. The Director General of Research and Planning, COP Rosebio Atinga, said the police is determined to make organized crime and terrorism a very risky venture for criminals. The project, which spans October 2015 to August 2017, will see the establishment of 4 new drug enforcement units and enhance the capabilities of existing units.
The Ministry of Education has handed over the renovated girls' dormitories to the authorities of the Ghana Senior High School at Kofodia. The renovation follows a fire which swept through the dormitories in March this year.
In March this year, the girls' dormitories of the Ghana Secondary School, Ganas, in Koforidua caught fire. The Eastern Regional Minister, Madam Mavis Amafrimpong, went to the school upon hearing the news and promised to help renovate the ravaged dormitories. True to her word, the dormitories have been renovated with the help of the Ministry of Education. Earlier, she donated some items, which include toilet rolls and buckets, to the school. The headmaster of the school, Very Reverend Abraham Osei Donko, thanked the Ministry of Education and the minister for their swift response, saying the female students who were affected would be reaccommodated. The Deputy Minister for Education, Mr. Alex Treme, recalled what actually happened, for which a delegation was sent to the school to assess the damage caused.
We need audits in all our buildings so that we forestall future occurrences. Having completed this building, the next stage is to decongest the dormitory.
The Eastern Regional Minister, Madam Mavis Amafrimpong, was happy that the project was executed as early as possible and thanked the contractors for the swift delivery.
Indeed, when the issue came, we were all panicking. Parents were afraid. They didn't even know whether their children can come to school on time when school reopens. But here we are all witnessing what the ministry has done.
Posterity will be looking unto us for something good to us.
The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Haji Mohammed Muniru Limuna, has dismissed talks of possible food shortage in the country. He said although the agricultural sector has its challenges, the picture is not that gloomy, with some crops achieving better improved yields. The minister was speaking in Sunyang at the launch of the Ghana Agriculture Sector Investment Program.
The Ghana Agriculture Sector Investment Program, GASIP, is the latest intervention by Government of Ghana and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. The objective is to reduce poverty through agribusiness. The program is designed to make smallholder farmers increase their profits and have resilience for climate change. Launching the program, the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Mr. Mohammed Muniru Limuna, disclosed that government is to provide $7.5 million, while IFAD provides a loan of $71.60 million and a grant of $10 million to mitigate the effects of climate change under the Adaptation for Smallholder Agric program. In a related development, the minister interacted with cashew farmers in the region at Wenchi. The farmers told him about their challenges and suggested how the ministry could help them. The minister also made a stop at the Ghana Nuts Company, where the CEO, Mr. Obed Asante, briefed the team on the company's operations. The Agric minister told management of the company that the GASIP project will support farmers working with the company with the requisite machinery and technical know-how, which will make farming attractive to the youth.
We must be prepared to facilitate the private sector to also come in. It is when the agro processors are performing, then it makes good business for the farmers.
You're still watching News Live on GBC 24 and GTV. We're taking a short break. Business is next.
Good evening.
evening. It's time to talk business. My name is Esther Edu Ohumewu. The Monetary Policy Committee of Bank of Ghana has maintained the policy rate at 26%. The governor, Dr. Abdul Ishahaku Nashiru, attributed the decision to moves to tame the inflationary pressures as well as maintain stability in the forex market.
The monetary policy over the last 12 months has been rising steadily. The Monetary Policy Committee in May 2015 moved the policy rate from 21% to 22%. The policy saw consistent increase in the course of the year and it closed the year at 25%. In 2016, the benchmark for lending inched up by 100 basis points to 26%. The central bank cited inflation, moderation in price movements over the period as well as the falling oil prices on the international market as the drivers behind the decision. 3 months on, the MPC has maintained the policy rate at 26%. According to the governor of the central bank, Dr. Abdul Nashiru Isahaku, there are risks in the inflation outlook, though inflation has started dropping and currently stands at 18.7%.
We believe in our model of forecast, but there are some risks that may affect our forecast. These include unanticipated upward adjustments in utilities and petroleum product prices, and possible second-round effects from such adjustments on prices. But the slow but persistent pickup in food inflation is a real concern. Since August 2014, if you go back to August 2014, to this point, consistently, food inflation has been picking up.
Dr. Isahaku said going forward, the forecast is on course and they will monitor the inflationary trends as well as the performance of the city to make sure the gains made so far are not derailed.
That's looking ahead. That tight policy stance is needed to deepen the gains made on the foreign exchange market and strengthen the disinflation process over the forecast horizon. In assessing the current economic conditions, the committee views the risks to inflation and growth as balanced and therefore decided to maintain the monetary policy rate at 26%.
With the policy rate at 26%, it is obvious that the call by the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, for a downward review of the interest rate, which is hovering around 32%, will not be met now until some other time.
Meanwhile, the governor of the Bank of Ghana has said the central bank has started registering people who deposited their monies with DKM. The registration, which is expected to end in June this year, will pave the way for persons who have had their monies locked up to be paid. However, the payment will be done from proceeds of the company's assets.
The registration of depositors had started for well over a month now. And it's to go on till the end of June. But once that is established, then payments can start. Now, who is to pay? When we did our initial thing, about 150 million was the deposit, what was shown in the books. And it was established that about 77 million was diverted into related companies. But in the books of DKM, they had about 10 million sitting there. So if you add 10 million to 77, that's about 87 million. So there's a shortfall about anywhere between 38 to 40 million. But we discovered just the initial stages of the forensic audit that there were some assets, other assets that were not originally captured in the first audit that we did internally. So it may well be that there are more assets than we think. Now the payment process would be that what we are still thinking around it. There are a number of options. One option is a debt buyback approach with a commercial bank, any commercial bank interested in buying the debt and starting to make payments once the audit results come back. Advance payments. See, for example, the debt is 100 million, they could buy it for 70 million. And that's important because if we go in directly as central bank to make payments, there's the issue of moral hazard. Yeah? There's the issue of moral hazard. So we need to think carefully. But one thing that's established is that effort is being made to pay depositors their original deposits. And that would be done. We're also thinking around how quickly that can be done.
Away from the central bank, the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System, GIPS, has defended the move by the Controller and Accountant General's Department to put 10% of workers' salaries on the e-switch platform. Managers of GIPS are of the view that the use of the e-switch will help reduce the use of cash in transacting business in the country. The Chief Executive of GIPS, Mr. Archie Hesse, said the directive will also bring sanity into the payroll system.
About 3 weeks now, public service workers have been alarmed over a percentage of their salary which is to be paid on the e-switch card. A directive was issued by the Controller and Accountant General's Department on paying public sector workers on the e-switch card. Some workers were worried about the short notice to apply for the card. Others had the view that an amount of 5 cedis will be deducted from their account anytime they use the e-switch. There were also complaints about the e-switch machine not functioning efficiently. Mindful of this, the Ghana Interbank Payment Settlement System have met with the media to educate them on the functions and benefits of the e-switch card. The Chief Executive of the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System, Mr. Archie Hesse, said the e-switch salary system verifies and validates fingerprints before any payment is done. He said the process also helps to eliminate duplicates on the payroll.
When the e-switch salary payment is being used, it will look at all the people that it has to pay. This time it's not looking at your names. It's looking at your fingerprints. It doesn't recognize names. It only recognizes fingerprints. So if we all have to be paid and we are 40 here, it will go through fingerprint 1, fingerprint 2, fingerprint 3, all the way to 40. Whilst it's doing that, it's also checking for duplications. Have I seen this fingerprint before? If I have, I'll take it out. In a nutshell, that's how it works.
The General Manager of Technology and Operations at GIPS, Mr. Kojo Intim, says the directive for the public sector workers to register for the e-switch cards with their banks is to ensure that individuals do not default on payments of loans acquired from their banks.
We advise that everybody who's going to use the e-switch card as a payment medium must take the card from the bank that they have registered with their company, that is their bankers. What we do first, after you have taken that card and advised your company or organization with that information, which is by providing the institution with the card number, we call it the USN, the unique serial number, is that they will send us a list of stuff that they want to pay.
Officials at GIPS said charges on the card will be 50 pesos for the uploading of the funds onto the card, but it does not attract any fees in the payment process. Beatrice Senaju, GBC 24, Accra.
The pound is trading at 5 cedis 48 pesos after losing a peso yesterday. The US dollar is also trading at 3 cedis 81 pesos on the interbank market. And on the commodity market, light crude and cocoa gained 95 cents and $15 respectively. Gold, however, dipped by $10.60. Still watching GBC 24. Welcome to the insurance news brought to you by SIC Life. The group chief executive of Mutual, Chris Kapanga, says workers must change their perception about insurance and consider setting aside funds that would guarantee them better life during retirement. In an interview with GBC 24, Mr. Kapanga indicated that workers cannot solely rely on their pensions in old age.
That gap is a retirement plan that is flexible. What this plan offers is flexibility of you to choose how much you're going to contribute per month. Other retirement plans are compulsory. They tell you how much exactly you are supposed to contribute. It's a percentage of your salary or a percentage of your earnings. This retirement plan, you choose. You, the customer, will select what you want to contribute, and it will start from as low as 20 cedis per month. So you can choose to contribute 20 cedis per month, or you could choose to contribute 100 cedis per month, and it's up to you. And what it does is that the cover then goes up depending on how much you're contributing per month. We do need people to be financially educated and to appreciate that they need, when they have a good time, when they are making money, they need to reserve some for the future, because that's what insurance is all about. Don't spend everything now. Put some aside.
And that was business. Thanks for watching.
Good evening and many thanks to have you join us on the health segment of the news brought to you by FPAC, Blows Your Pain Away. My name is Evans Echampon. Global Communities, USAID, and the Ministry of Health have partnered the Dadekotopon Municipal Assembly to carry out this year's mandatory registration and health screening of food vendors in the municipality. The project is aimed at freeing the country from diseases such as cholera and hepatitis. The screening is also expected to lead to a decrease in the prevalence of waterborne diseases.
The Dadekotopon municipality was among the areas badly affected by cholera outbreak in 2014. As part of efforts to prevent another outbreak of the disease, some development partners have initiated a project dubbed Water Access, Sanitation and Hygiene for Urban Poor, WASHUP. This initiative had food vendors within LA taken through health screening and registration. They are also educated on hygienic ways of handling, serving and packaging food. This year's edition of the screening attracted about 300 food vendors, twice the number registered last year. The environmental health officer for the municipality, Mr. Evans Tojuro, praised global communities for their efforts, saying the onset of the rains would expose the filth in our communities, which may result in a spread of cholera and other diseases.
When the cholera outbreak came, most of the people who got infected were those who ingested food. So we are using this as a medium to help educate food vendors within the municipal assembly about food hygiene, food safety, about personal hygiene, and also cholera.
The public-private partnership specialist of Global Communities, Ghana, Mrs. Emefa Beidu, was elated about the turnout.
2014, there was a lot of cholera incidences here. And this is one of the reasons why we are here, to support the municipality with food vendor training and health screening. Because of the track record of La. And also, we don't want the rains to start before we put any measures in place.
A healthy nation, they say, is a wealthy nation.
Now, a senior research scientist at the Water Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Dr. Gloria Adiko, has advised Ghanaians to change their attitudes towards water bodies to control pollution. This is because Ghana's water treatment systems may not be able to remove algae toxins, which are harmful to humans. Dr. Adiko has also called for the review of the water treatment process in the country.
The research conducted by the Water Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research in 2011 indicates that most of the sources of fresh water are high in algae growth, which is harmful to humans. According to the research, this as a result of human activities such as illegal mining, human defecation, the use of fertilizers, and bathing in rivers. Experts say the presence of algae in water bodies does not only pollute the quality of the water but also poison it. A senior research scientist at the Water Research Institute of the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Dr. Gloria Adiko, said Ghana has the conventional type of water treatment system that is unable to remove the algae toxins. She cited the Wager Dam as an example, which is gradually increasing in blue-green algae.
There are various types of toxins. We have the hepatotoxins, we have the neurotoxins, and we have the lipopolysaccharides. They causes itches when people swim in the water. And the hepatotoxins are described as liver toxins, because specifically when you consume water with it, it acts on the liver cell.
The communications director of the Ghana Water Company, Mr. Stanley Mate, challenged the report and asked the public not to panic, since not all the water bodies are contaminated. According to him, the research is outdated and the various treatment plants have been undergoing technical improvement since 2008.
Because of the algae, now we use what we call activated carbon, and it takes care of toxins and all that. So until we find out a new pollutant within this thing in the water that we produce, we'll be using this method. But for us as a company, we avail ourselves to any new technology because we always want to improve on the quality of water that we serve our people with.
Mr. Marty said the water produced by the Ghana Water Company nationwide is potable and that routine checks are done daily on an hourly basis to ensure that the public is served with quality potable water.
And that's it for this segment tonight, brought to you by FPAC. Sayoko and Shelley return with international news. Stay tuned.
Nestle Eye Delicious Challenge. Mom versus Nee. We're with the Lawsons today. So Nee, tell me, what's cooking?
Bread and butter pudding. All you need is some spare bread.
Who taught you?
My mom. But I can do it better.
Really?
Oh yes.
All right, Nee. Show us what you've got.
Okay. Cut buttered bread into neat triangles. Arrange your raisins and bread in layers with the bread on top. While whisking your eggs, add water, sugar, nutmeg, and vanilla essence. And the secret ingredient, ideal milk. Whisk until smooth and pour over the bread. Leave for 30 minutes and bake. Mom, I'm almost done. Where's yours?
Small boys I am. I've been Dada. I call this healthy brodo pari made with ideal.
Hey, Jay Shamo, easy to prepare and easy on the pocket. Delicious. This recipe is a source of protein which builds and maintains your body. Flush us for more delicious recipes.
Nestle, good food, good life.
And in international news, Colombian authorities have made the biggest seizure of drugs in history, according to President Juan Manuel Santos. Security forces discovered 8 tons of cocaine in a hideaway under a banana plantation. A handout picture released by the Colombian police shows a Colombian police officer standing guard in front of
a display of confiscated packages of cocaine in Table, Colombia. The seized narcotics have an estimated value of $240 million. Colombian authorities found the drugs near the border with Panama in an underground hideaway at a banana plantation. 3 people were arrested during the raid. President Juan Manuel Santos congratulated the police in a post on Twitter, calling it a crushing blow against criminals.
The US and other world powers say they are ready to arm Libya's UN-backed unity government to help it fight the self-styled Islamic State group. Speaking in Vienna, US Secretary of State John Kerry said world powers would back Libya in seeking exemption from a UN arms embargo. He said IS is a new threat to Libya and it is imperative it is stopped. Last month, the Libyan government warned that IS could seize most of the country if it was not halted soon. The North African country has been in chaos since NATO-backed forces overthrew longtime ruler Colonel Muammar Gaddafi in October 2011. Until recently, it had 2 rival governments competing for power, and there are still hundreds of militias, some allied to IS. Bring you sports after this break.
Let's update our source from happenings in the world of sports. I'm Theophilus Sampa. The Ghana Immigration Service, my stable tennis team, recorded double victory in the league. They beat the Ghana Army by 3 sets to 0 and also beat Prisons in the same sets. The battle for superiority in the ongoing National Table Tennis League entered week 6 at the RLGDG Atramani Sports Hall of the Accra Sports Stadium. 19 matches took place. In the women's clash, Ghana Navy in the blue jersey battled Immigration in a crunch time. The back-to-back action saw the Navy side winning by 3 sets to 2. Police also beat Army by 3 sets to 1, with EMEFS losing by 3 sets to 1 to Ghana Revenue Authority. In the men's category, defending champions, the Ghana Immigration Service continued the defense of their title as they beat the Army side by 3 sets to 0 in March 1. Immigration again silenced Prisons by the same margin, 3 sets to 0 in March 2. Here are some reactions from the players.
Oh, today's performance was very massive because we and Prison in the knockout, they defeated us and we staged a comeback and we warned them that they shouldn't take us for granted. So today we went in all out and got so good. We also defeated them 3-1.
Oh, overall performance today, it was okay. It was very competitive. We will try very hard so that next week we will not lose any game. Like we will win 3-0.
The head coach of the national table tennis team, Mr. Anthony Uswansa, described week 6 as interesting.
Next week we're going to have Immigration playing against Revenue Authority, and here we have top stars, in the 2 teams. You have Derek Abrefa, Felix Lati, Emmanuel Komi. I mean, the trial that won, the bronze medal for Ghana, playing against, Joe Sam, Eric Amwa, and Asari William. They are also very good potential players in the national team. So, well, I can't get the results. I can't predict the results because it can go any way.
The league continues this Saturday at the RLGDG Hatramani Sports Hall. In the women's league, Samira ladies drew 0-0 with the Ghana Immigration ladies.
The clash at the ATTC Park in Accra between Samaria Ladies FC in the yellow jersey and Immigration Ladies was one of the matchday 5 fixtures in the ongoing National Women's Football League. Samaria Ladies came into the game after picking 3 valuable points at the same venue on matchday 4, while Immigration were desperate for their first win after losing 2 matches on the trot. The encounter was full of midfield combat as the defense and goalkeepers of both sides were alert. The encounter ended 0-0. Here are some reactions from coaches and players.
I'm very disappointed because the officiating was very bad in the first half and the second half too. And sometimes we need to protect our players too.
We came out from away and we have got a draw. So
Even my team did not perform as we were expected. But we believe in our next game, they will do well. We don't play football by name now. With names, you lose. So I think our girls, we need to work on them so that they will upgrade their standard of playing.
We're expecting. Thank you for watching News Hour. News tonight is at 10:30. Do stay.
Many thanks for your company. Good evening.